Well, well, well. Welcome to A Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're sitting. And I hope this afternoon, when your world was rocked, you weren't knocked down because there was a huge bombshell in Washington today from former Trump fixer and man whose face is socially distancing from his skull, Michael Cohen. Out of nowhere, Cohen released the foreword to his new tell-all book, Disloyal. It was a complete surprise, like when Beyonce drops a new album, but not like that in any way. Cohen describes his tell-all this way: "This is a book the President of the United States does not want you to read." So, any book? Some of the stuff is a little strange, like how Cohen describes the anticipation of when he testified before Congress. "It felt something like when I was in the hospital awaiting the birth of my daughter and son. Daddy, were you happy when I was born? It felt like I was about to face the harsh consequences of every mistake I'd ever made in my life. Who wants ice cream?" But even the foreword of this book is loaded with juicy, and I mean juicy details of things we already kind of knew. For instance, Cohen describes himself as an active and eager participant in everything Trump did, from tax fraud to deals with corrupt officials from the former Soviet Union, even golden showers in a sex club in Vegas. That's right. He talks about the golden showers. Mr. President, you're in trouble. And you know, I'm sure that makes you pissed. But Cohen was your number one. He used to be your whiz kid. Now he's leaking everywhere. You might call it yellow journalism, but all you can do, little piggy, is go wee all the way home. I miss the pee-pee jokes. Thank you. But I'm sure Donald Trump would rather talk about his love life in the splash zone than how badly he has shanked the global pandemic, because yesterday the United States reported its highest number of COVID-19 deaths in a single day since mid-May. When Trump said it would just disappear, I didn't realize it was hope. But in the face of this resurging virus, the president has his eye on the ball, because this morning he tweeted about the statistics that we have all been so concerned about. Very poor morning TV ratings for MSDNC's Morning Joe, headed by a complete psycho named Joe Scarborough and his ditzy airhead wife, Mika, and also CNN, headed by complete unknowns. Congratulations to Fox and Friends on dominating the mornings. Thank you, President Trump. That's leadership. I look forward to his next coronavirus briefing. Good afternoon. Today we got some hopeful numbers. As you can see, Jeanine Pirro is crushing an 1849 demo, and Tucker Carlson finally got a new sponsor, self-lubricating gold coins. What's in your catheter? Also, that sounds painful. I don't care if they're lubricated. Also, the saddest part of that tweet, the fact that he ends it with, "Thank you, President Trump." He's so isolated, now he's just talking to himself. "Thank you, President Trump. No problem, buddy. Hey, you're going to eat that last piece of bacon? You know it. God, I'm so hungry. I will fight you for it. You won't lose." Now, a little cup of coffee after that. That death toll, remember the one that he didn't talk about? It may seem high, but yesterday at his coronavirus press briefing, Trump looked at the bright side.
99.995% of all fatalities are adults. Think of that, 99.95. That is extremely close to 100% of all fatalities are adults.
Yes. Most fatalities are adults, because he really fact this thing up. It's all very tragic, and I am deeply depressed. But Trump spent most of the coronavirus press briefing laser-focused on the pandemic threatening America, mail-in voting.
You look at what happened in Virginia, where they have 500,000 applications sent out at random to people. that have no idea what happened, and they admitted they made a mistake. And many were sent to dead people, many were sent to, number were sent, I guess two, that at least, 2, 3, 4, were sent to dogs. One was sent to a cat.
Okay, that is shocking and entirely not true. The state of Virginia, in fact, did not send any pets mail-in ballots, which is too bad because it would be a great plot for the new Disney movie, Doggone Voter Fraud. Their crimes are appalling. Trump despises mail-in voting and just regular voting, too, because he's way behind in the polls, and he knows that due to the pandemic, tens of millions of us will have to vote by mail. So after 3 years spent damaging everything from international relationships to ethical norms to the Department of Justice, Trump's coming after something people actually care about. He's destroying the post office. Okay, now he's just a villain in a children's book. Next, he's going to ban roller skating and build a laser to blow up Halloween. But Merlin has to stop him. Even for him, this is a bold move, given that the Postal Service is the most popular government agency in the country with a 91% favorability rating. 91%! That's the kind of popularity enjoyed only by chicken-fried orgasms. Oh. You gotta get it in the buttermilk. You gotta put it in the buttermilk first. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't say don't talk any further. I might stop. Being able to send mail is a fundamental function of any working society. For Pete's sake, they had reliable postal service in ancient Egypt. That is Pharaoh Mentuhotep II getting his Valpak for a free carpet steaming. Now, to help kill the post office, Trump installed a new postmaster general, one of his big donors, in fact, North Carolina business guy and man looking on as you take a bite of the dip he brought, Louis DeJoy, or as Trump referred to him yesterday at his press conference.
And remember, the new man who's a great person, a great businessman, just got there a little while ago.
He's a great man, woman, person, camera, post office. Since the great man person took over recently, he's made drastic cuts, he's banned overtime, he's deactivated sorting machines, and he halted late mail deliveries, resulting in days-long backlogs. And if distribution centers are running behind, instead of getting all the mail delivered, they will keep the mail for the next day. But it's right there in their motto. Neither snow, nor rain, nor heat, nor gloom of night stays these couriers unless their new boss is a total dick, in which case we're screwed. Then, late Friday afternoon, DeJoy made a few more changes. He reassigned or sidelined almost 24 high-ranking postal officials in a move to centralize his control of the agency, according to a new organizational chart. And I believe we have a copy of DeJoy's new org chart. There you go. DeJoy may have personal reasons to kill the post office as well, because the government review of the finances of DeJoy and his wife revealed the couple's holdings include between $30 and $75 million in assets in Postal Service competitors or contractors. The guy heading the post office would make millions from its destruction. That's like replacing the Surgeon General with Joe Camel. Warning, smoking may make pregnancy look cool. Now, lest you still have any doubts about what's up here, the president of the American Postal Workers Union revealed on Monday that in June, the Office of Management and Budget of the White House put out in writing a proposal to privatize, i.e. break up, the Postal Service and sell it to private corporations. They're going to break up the post office. But I just bought all these forever stamps. You lied to me, seasonal orchids. Phalaenopsis. Yeah, I know the name of an orchid. Trump and DeJoy claim all these cuts are because the post office is losing money, but that's a lie. The president revealed his true motivations yesterday at a press briefing. Because you see, the Democrats want to include $25 billion in the latest stimulus bill to guarantee that voters will be able to mail in their ballots this November. But Trump said he wasn't going to sign that.
So they want $25 billion for the post office. They want $2.5 with $3.5 billion for universal mailing, $3.5 billion. And the bill's not going to happen. They're not going to get the $3.5 billion. Therefore, They can't do the universal mail-in vote. It's very simple. How are they going to do it if they don't have the money to do it?
You're not supposed to say the cheating part out loud. Honey, I've got to work late tonight. I've got a very important sex project, and we're meeting about it in someone else's crotch. Okay, bye. Garlic nuts. Trump called into Fox Business today and put the Democrats' funding request into perspective.
How would you like to have $3.5 billion, for mail-in voting? Billion. So if you didn't have it, you wouldn't. You know how much money that is? Nobody has any idea.
Actually, I have some idea how much $3.5 billion is. Let me say, how much? It's $3.5 billion. The point is, we can't let Trump get away with undermining our democracy by destroying a basic function of government. Establishing post offices is in the Constitution. Congress needs to stand firm and protect the United States Postal Service with the same fervor the right uses to defend guns. What I'm saying is, you can have my sister-in-law's Christmas newsletter when you pry it from my cold, dead hands. This is actually last year's. You can have this one. Do you want to put that over there? Next week is the Democratic National Convention, and this year will be unlike any other because due to coronavirus, most events are expected to take place online. That's right, take off your trousers and fire up your browser because it's going to be the Thriller on Mozilla, the Thunderdome on Chrome, the Democratic Party on Safari. Let's get ready to buffer! Okay, we know some of the big speakers already. You got your Warrens, you got your Bernies, you got your Obamas. Then there's your up-and-comers like New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, seen here igniting Louis Gohmert's scalp with her eyes. AOC is the most dynamic rising star in the Democratic Party, which is why she's only getting 60 seconds to speak at the convention. Oh, come on, Democrats! This is like when they told us Cher would be in Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, and then she was only in the last 5 minutes. We were robbed of Cher. What I'm saying is I demand to see AOC sing Dancing Queen. This isn't the first time an important speaker has been cut short at a convention. We all remember this speech from the 2016 DNC.
When they go low,
that still gets me. They do go low. Now, the decision to shortchange AOC has flooded the Democratic Party with complaints that party leadership is out of touch with young voters. Well, I would hope the party leadership is out of touch. Their average age is like 75. Touching anyone is very dangerous for them right now. Speaking of AOC, Trump was, specifically complaining about her bill.
The new Green Deal is something that the likes of which nobody can even comprehend. It's like drawn by children. It's drawn by children.
First of all, that's not true. Second, is he saying it's impossible to comprehend children's drawings? Eric, what the hell is this? Sons don't have a face, dummy. And what's this scribble? I love you, Daddy? I don't get it. Who's Daddy? Trump couldn't bring up the Green New Deal without going after Ocasio-Cortez herself.
He is going to give not tax increases, massive tax increases to pay for AOC's plan. AOC was a poor student. I won't say where she went to school. It doesn't matter.
AOC immediately clapped back, tweeting, "Let's make a deal, Mr. President. You release your college transcript, I'll release mine, and we'll see who is the better student. Loser has to fund the post office." Oh, bap, bap! That is a good burn. Come on, DNC. At least let her sing Take a Chance on Me. Take a chance, 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 take a chance on AOC. We've got a great show for you tonight. My guests are from Showtime's The Circus, Mark McKinnon and Alex Wagner. But when we return, meanwhile, stick around. Take a chance, take a chance, take a chance, take a chance.